My name is Joyce Dennis. I'm from Ghana and I'm currently on a 3-month Merck Embryology training program in India, Manipal. So I have worked in a specialist hospital for the past 6 years, and the ultimate goal is to treat infertility, but we currently do not have an ART unit, so we treat patients with their natural cycle. So this particular program is very helpful because when I get back, I'm going to be able to establish this IUI center where we can start actively treating infertility in my particular center, because currently in Ghana we have about a little over 20 IVF units in Ghana. One challenge is initially was the stigma attached to infertility, because married couples are expected to immediately start reproducing, and so when this is not the case, then they experience stigmatization from their family, from church members, just from the society. So infertility is quite a huge issue, but currently as more people are getting access to the internet and becoming aware of possible treatment for their infertility, people are asking more questions about IVF and ART treatment and how they can assess it. Male infertility awareness, I would say, is not as widespread as when it comes to the female, because the female is expected to be more fertile and get pregnant easily. In my country, some of the men are they do not want to go in and seek fertility treatment, and some of them don't expect to be the people who are having the infertility problem, so they are less ready to go and get any treatment that could be available to them. Male infertility, I think generally the stigma to male is higher because men are expected to be, have more power or energy, and they're expected to be more fertile. So yeah, the stigma is higher when it's male infertility. Maybe that's why they are less ready to go and seek fertility treatment. Infertility it's a major issue. It's a global issue, and I think it's good that we have an option to treat patients of infertility so that they can have genetically related children, progeny. So definitely infertility is quite a huge issue globally. It's not specific to particular parts of the world. In my country, I think as people are becoming more aware, the stigma is not as high as before, because before people would be worried, who's going to take care of you in your old age? Who's going to inherit you when you're no more there? So it's a big deal if you don't have children of your own. But now that we are in the modern times and people are becoming more aware, I don't think it's such a huge issue. But people still want to have genetically related children so that they can continue their generation when they're not around. I would say this program has been extremely interesting. I have learned a lot because before I came here, I had the theoretical knowledge, but going to the clinic, going to the embryology lab, taking part in the ICSI manipulation and ovulation stimulation has really helped me understand and relate the theoretical knowledge to the practical aspect. So I would say this program has been extremely helpful, and in terms of confidence, I would say I'm about 70% confident in basic ART procedures, and I expect that when I go back and continue practicing, I could get to that high level of confidence. So the main departments in which we partook in practical training was vitrification and cryopreservation of embryos, where we spent about 3 weeks. So we went through grading of embryos, cryopreservation of embryos, and how to determine the survival after you've thawed your embryos. Also, we went through embryo catheter loading for an embryo transfer. And then we partook in the ART observation, where we went through the everyday routine ART activities before each cycle and the different things to note when you're preparing a patient for an OPU or a frozen embryo transfer or anything related to ART. And then we went through Embryology, where we are currently processing semen samples, and we are just going through the basic therapeutic procedures for each type of sample that you receive in an Embryology lab. We also partook in ICSI manipulation, where we went through the precautions to take when trying to inject your oocytes, how to go, select your sperm for injection as well. Yes, so currently those were the departments we went through, not to mention the lectures we've also had. So once I get back, my initial plan is to help in the setting up of the ART center in my clinic, and we're also going to start doing our IUIs till we gather the patient base, and then we continue to IVF and other ART procedures. Yes, I'd like to thank Merck Embryology Training Program for sponsoring us for this particular program, and I know without this I wouldn't have learned as much as I've done, so thank you.